There are nights in football when one man simply refuses to let the ball cross his line. No matter how relentless the attack, he just keeps saying no. That's exactly what happened in Los Angeles, where a 33-year-old goalkeeper from a tiny village in western Iran kept the scoreboard frozen at 0. So, what happened out there, and how did one man almost single-handedly deny one of the most gifted attacks in the tournament? Iran walked into this Group G clash with Belgium already carrying a turbulent World Cup off the pitch. They'd opened with a chaotic 2-2 draw against New Zealand, a result that frustrated the coaching staff, not because of the football itself, but because of everything swirling around it. On paper, this looked like a mismatch. Belgium arrived ranked 10th in the world, stacked with stars, Kevin De Bruyne dictating play, Yuri Tielemans pulling strings through midfield, Romelu Lukaku leading the line. Iran, by contrast, were cast as heavy underdogs. From almost the first whistle, Belgium controlled possession, probing for cracks. And yet, every time the ball arrived somewhere dangerous, Alireza Beiranvand, all 6'4" of him, seemed to already be exactly where he needed to be. The drama began almost immediately. Just 3 minutes in, Beiranvand absorbed a bruising knee from Lukaku to the chest and neck during a goalmouth scramble. He dropped instantly and stayed down for several minutes. For long-time followers of Iranian football, this carried unmistakable weight. 4 years earlier, an almost identical scene played out for Beiranvand in a World Cup opener against England, when a head collision forced him off entirely, and Iran lost 6-2. Every Iranian fan felt that same dread creeping back in. But this time was different. He got back up and went on to deliver arguably the finest 90 minutes of his international career. Let's walk through what he produced. Early on, Belgium's Leandro Trossard had a close-range chance off a deflected rebound, and Beiranvand smothered it on instinct. Minutes later, Tielemans unleashed a powerful strike from distance, and again the towering keeper got down low to parry it clear. Before halftime, Tielemans and Trossard combined on a volley that looked destined for the corner, only for Iran's number 1 to deny it again. 3 world-class saves before the break alone, against a team dominating possession almost completely. The save that will be replayed for years came just after the hour mark. Belgium had been reduced to 10 men following a red card. Rather than wilting with the extra space, Belgium carved out their best chance of the afternoon. A deflected ball fell to a Belgian forward, standing a few feet from an empty net, with Beiranvand still down on the turf from a previous action. By any normal expectation, that ball goes in. Instead, stretched flat across the grass, Beiranvand flung out his left arm and stopped it dead on the goal line before gathering it in. Players inside the stadium simply froze in disbelief. He still wasn't finished. Late on, Belgium tried again, forcing yet another crucial save as Iran protected that clean sheet to the final whistle. 7 saves in total, 4 diving stops, 3 commanding claims, with models suggesting he denied close to 2 expected goals worth of chances. He was named man of the match, and even Belgium's own keeper, Thibaut Courtois, admitted afterward that Iran's man simply played a brilliant game. So who is this man who turned into an octopus under the Los Angeles lights? Beiranvand was born in 1992 near Khorramabad, in Iran's mountainous Loristan province, into a nomadic Kurdish Lor family of shepherds. As the eldest child, he spent his early years herding livestock across rugged terrain. Football arrived almost by accident. He played as a forward in local matches and competed in a traditional stone-throwing contest called Dal Pirani, a game that, without anyone realizing it, was quietly building the extraordinary arm strength that would later define him. At around 12, Beiranvand left home for Tehran, chasing a dream with no guarantee of paying off. What followed wasn't glamorous. He slept rough, worked in a factory, washed cars, specializing in SUVs because of his height, worked in a pizza shop, and swept streets. Years of genuine hardship for a kid with nothing but a dream and a powerful left arm. His breakthrough came in 2011 with Naft Tehran, where he became first-choice goalkeeper and helped the club to a third-place league finish. In 2016, Persepolis signed him on a free transfer, and his career truly took off. A domestic record of over 700 minutes without conceding, 3 consecutive Golden Glove awards, and an AFC Champions League final run that included a stunning save off a header from Javier Hernandez. By 2019, he was named Iran's Footballer of the Year, a rare honor for a goalkeeper. He moved to Europe in 2020 with Royal Antwerp, then had a brief spell in Portugal with Boavista. There's a wonderfully ironic detail buried there. The very country whose attack he just shut down once gave him his European education. He returned to Persepolis in 2022, then joined Tractor in 2024, winning a league title in his first season. Internationally, Beiranvand debuted for Iran in 2015 and has earned well over 80 caps across 3 World Cup cycles. At Russia 2018, he saved a penalty from Cristiano Ronaldo in a memorable draw with Portugal. 4 years later in Qatar, his tournament ended early after that head collision against England, a frightening scene criticized for how it was handled. That context adds real weight to Los Angeles. A goalkeeper who watched his last World Cup end in a hospital bed has returned at 33 to deliver arguably the best individual performance of this tournament so far, a redemption story written in real time. What makes this even more impressive has nothing to do with the pitch itself. Iran's preparation has been anything but normal. Reports suggest their travel schedule between matches has been unusually tight compared to other nations, with the squad reportedly operating out of a base in Mexico and making short trips into the U.S. close to match day. Iran's staff had planned roughly 24 hours in Los Angeles before the Belgium match. Instead, the squad had considerably less time, forcing a training session to be cut short, compared to Belgium, who reportedly had a full extra day to settle in. Head coach Amir Galinoue said these constraints have made proper preparation extremely difficult, with his squad adapting on the fly under time pressure other teams haven't faced. Think about what that means for a goalkeeper specifically. Shot stopping isn't just instinct, it's repetition, rhythm, and recovery. Beiranvand and his teammates have operated at match intensity with a fraction of normal preparation time, and still, he produced the standout performance of Group G so far. There's a human side to this, too. After the New Zealand draw, Iran's players reportedly left a handwritten note in their locker room thanking supporters. Midfielder Alireza Beiranvand said the mood was one of pride, with the squad feeling they'd shown real spirit, even if they may have deserved more than a single point. So where does this leave Iran? The point against Belgium puts Team Melli on 2 points from 2 matches, second in the group, level with Belgium, but ahead on goals. Egypt lead with 4 points, New Zealand sit bottom with 1. Everything will be decided against Egypt, with a top 2 finish enough to send Iran through to the round of 32 for the first time in their history. Iran has never advanced beyond the group stage at a Men's World Cup. Right now, with 1 match left, they control their own destiny, in large part because their goalkeeper turned in a performance for the ages under conditions that would have tested anyone. It's worth pausing on just how rare this kind of individual brilliance is at World Cup level. Tournaments are usually remembered for moments of attacking magic, a dribble, a free kick, a late winner. Goalkeeping performances rarely get the same spotlight, even when they're just as decisive. Yet what Beiranvand produced against Belgium belongs in that conversation. 7 saves against a side with this much firepower, sustained over 90 minutes, with the scoreline never once threatening to tip, is the kind of stat line that tends to define a tournament rather than just a single match. There's also something fitting about the way this story has unfolded. A boy who once ran away from a shepherding life in the mountains of Loristan, who slept rough and cleaned cars in Tehran just to stay close to football, is now standing as the single biggest reason his country sits on the verge of history. None of that is guaranteed to matter if Iran stumble against Egypt. But if they don't, this will be remembered as the night one goalkeeper carried an entire nation's hopes on his back and refused to let them down. So, what do you think? Can Iran finish the job against Egypt and reach the knockout stage for the first time in their history? Will this go down as the best goalkeeping display of the tournament if they advance? And which side benefits most from facing a team melee still adjusting to such an unusual schedule?